name's Ava. I'm a Scorpio.
No. What's your last name?
Oh, Ava Combs.
What's your other last name?
Ava Baroni.
Ava Baroni Combs? Yes, it's breaking news. Diddy adopted a white child. I want you to tell them the story about how I adopted you. But you still have beautiful parents but you're my child also. But please tell the story.
So, I was on the streets, and then Papa Combs decided that he would like to be a caring man. So then he saw me and decided to pick me up and said to come inside and play.
What are we doing tonight, baby?
We're making desserts for our bonfire tomorrow.
Okay.
And like everyone that was invited has to bring something, and then our thing that we had to bring was dessert. And then like everyone else, they bring like food and drink.
A federal judge has just denied Diddy's request to delay his trial after new evidence revealing 3 more victims was uncovered. Diddy's family has stopped showing up to his trial. And allegedly, Ava Barron Combs, Diddy's adopted stepdaughter, is being subpoenaed to testify in the upcoming trial. Rumors of Ava Barron Combs being a missing child are making rounds on social media, and the story keeps getting wilder. Let's break it down. Music, my name's Ava. I'm a Scorpio. No. What's your last name? Ava Combs. What's your other last name? Ava Barron. Ava Barron Combs. Yes, this was breaking news. Diddy adopted a white child. I want you to tell them the story about how I adopted you. But you still have beautiful parents but you're my child also. But please tell the story. So, I was on the streets, and then Papa decided that he would like to be a caring man. So, then he saw me and decided to pick me up and said to come inside and play with, hey, what were we doing tonight, baby? We're making them desserts for our bonfire tomorrow. Okay, because and like everyone that was invited has to bring something, and then our thing that we had to bring was dessert. And then like everyone else, they bring like food and drinks. MHM. Fans are peeling back the layers of Diddy's relationship with Ava Barron Combs. And it's shocking. In 2020, Diddy revealed that he had adopted Ava Barron, and that Ava, who was allegedly 12 at the time of the video, actually wanted a black father. During an Instagram live, Diddy even kissed Ava on the cheek after she said that she had been living on the streets before Diddy adopted her. A report by TMZ later revealed that Diddy never officially adopted Ava. Shockingly, Ava's face matched perfectly with pictures of a missing child who was lost around the same time that Diddy claimed to have adopted Ava. I did some digging around and found some old photos that go back many years. She was with them when she was very, very young. So, she is in fact his adopted daughter. Some are saying this woman in the background here is her mother, but nothing is confirmed. You can see she's been with him in interviews, hanging out with Diddy's daughters. She was seen everywhere with Diddy's daughter. Here's another one. I mean, they go way back. And here's a few more. So, it shows that yes, indeed, they spent time together and they grew up together. This is in fact their sister and Diddy's adopted daughter. However, I found a video that is so suspect. I want you guys to check it out and tell me what you think. This is my life. A lot of cars now. This is because I'm a great father, but I'm sleeping with the tell me. Who do y'all have a crush on? Tell a daddy's truth. I don't know about you guys, but that video and the way Diddy's acting raises so many questions. So many are asking, where's Ava Barron Combs? Now, this is the most recent photo I found. There's another one I'm going to show you, which is this one right here. But sisters and Diddy are nowhere to be found. Diddy has a history of abuse, and now even his family has stopped showing up to see him. Both of Diddy's sons, Justin and Quincy, who he adopted when he was just 3, have now been mentioned in lawsuits along with their father. There's even video footage that shows Justin at Diddy's freak-off parties. In his lawsuit, ex-producer Lil Rod also claimed that Justin had been involved in the cover-up of an alleged drive-by shooting involving Diddy. Claims that Justin was involved in sourcing sex workers for Diddy are also present in the filing. In a minute, anything on his demeanor or anything on, from that we picked up from Diddy today, it was different than usual. He got into the courtroom with his pad of paper and his pen, really intently ready to just take notes, and he looked back into the gallery, where he usually sees a row of family members and friends, supporters of his. But when he turned around and looked in the gallery, none of his children were there today, and he visibly looked upset. Now, about 10 minutes into the hearing, his son Justin did come in and sit in the gallery. Diddy turned a second time, looked directly at him, kind of nodded, and acknowledged that his son was in the courtroom today, but you could really tell that it impacted him when he turned back and did not see any kind of friendly face. Connell, here's where some of the allegations against his son, Justin Combs, come in. So, all this takes us back to February when Rodney Jones, also known as the producer Lil Rod, filed civil suit against Diddy. In his lengthy lawsuit, Lil Rod's straight name drops Justin Combs, describing him as someone who solicits prostitutes, underage girls, and workers. There's actually a picture of Justin Combs with an allegedly underage girl shown in the lawsuit. Now, in this specific instance, Lil Rod alleges at least one underage girl came to Diddy's home for a listening party. A sex worker was also apparently solicited, and a freak-off ensued. As an aside, this is the same night that Lil Rod alleges Diddy forced him to take a lace shot. He started to feel lightheaded and then woke up at 4 o'clock in the morning naked next to a sex worker. It's important to note Justin Combs is listed as a defendant on this case because, according to Lil Rod, he facilitated Diddy's alleged RICO enterprise and at times participated. Diddy has a history of abuse when it comes to minors, and sources close to him claim that Diddy's relationship with his adopted son Quincy was also incredibly suspicious. Freddie P., an artist who used to work with Diddy, says that he witnessed suspicious behavior between Diddy and his stepson Quincy Combs. Allegedly, Diddy was grooming his son, and this has been happening ever since Quincy was a child. Questions that I'd be wanting to know, like, why were you so infatuated with a child that wasn't yours? Well, you grew him in that little boy. I don't even want to start those conversations, because that's not your child. You know what I'm saying? And for you to keep him that close, it's like you kept him that close because he might got your secrets because he's not your child. So if he's not your child, and you that type of person with that type of character, you don't mind actually doing it to him when he finally reaches a certain age, because he's not yours, and you know in your mind he's not yours. And now you keep him real close to you. You make sure he don't go to his daddy. Why? You make sure he's separated him, and you provide him with everything he wants. Why? You got one of them little Michael Jackson secrets. He got one of them secrets that he can't tell nobody cause his legacy, his manhood going to be, and not only that his brother going to look at him crazy. Music, only Puffy know only God _ right? I don't know. All I'm going to say is I don't know, I'll be sure. All I'm going to say is who's infatuated with another man's son like you guessed, it seemed like grooming to me. This alleged abuse is what eventually led both Christian and Justin to become abusers themselves. The cycle of abuse Diddy started is now being continued by his sons. Christian King Combs has been named as a defendant in a lawsuit recently filed by 26-year-old stewardess Grace Omar. Grace claims that Christian groped her and sexually harassed her after drugging her with laced drinks at one of Diddy's yacht parties. She was 25 years old at the time. She believed that the trip would be a, quote, wholesome family excursion, but says it, quote, turned into a hedonistic environment, even describing rampant drug use among sex workers and celebrities who came on board. She believes that the alcohol on the yacht had been laced with drugs because she says women would have one drink and then almost immediately pass out or start falling over. This is, by the way, something that it was also alleged in Jones's lawsuit, that Combs would spike the drinks of different people. But focusing on Christian Combs, Markey says that Christian Combs had been staying at a villa on the shore, but that he would come onto the yacht in the evening to party. And on December 28th, 2022, Christian reportedly arrived very intoxicated and then proceeded to pressure to take shots of tequila. She did. Christian allegedly tried to get her to drink more in the yacht's makeshift studio. Omari alleges that Christian kissed her neck, kissed her face as he groped her legs, breasts, and private areas. Diddy's children are complicit in the abuse he carried out. Justin is allegedly also involved in the cover-up of a drive-by shooting that occurred at a recording studio in Los Angeles. In his lawsuit, Lil Rod Jones alleges that the shooting happened inside the studio, where a man identified as G was found wounded and bleeding on the floor. Jones claims that Diddy was present and Diddy told him to lie to the police and hid with his son when the cops arrived for his involvement in an alleged shooting cover-up. According to court documents, it happened on September 12, 2022 outside Diddy's Chalice Studios. Lil Rod says Diddy, his son Justin, and Justin's friend who went by G were all there when things got heated. Lil Rod says he heard multiple gunshots ring out and later found G on the bathroom floor in the fetal position. Lil Rod says he was bleeding out of his hip and leg area. Lil Rod says he was applying pressure to G's wounds and then asked the crowd to call an ambulance. At that point, both Diddy and Justin Holmes disappeared to another part of the studio. Diddy then gave strict instructions to inform the police that he had nothing to do with the shooting. He also forced Mr. Jones to lie to the police by telling them that G was shot standing outside the studio by a drive-by assailant. So that specific allegation involves Diddy's son Justin. But another allegation, an entirely separate civil lawsuit,